Good day, my name is Louwrens Bakker and I'm a legal advisor at SEESA's Consumer Protection and POPI department.
Good day, my name is Nelly, Nyembe from the Consumer Protection and POPI division, also a legal advisor and attorney. Today's topic, Louwrens, we will be discussing Section 22 of the Consumer Protection Act. What actually is entailed in Section 22?
Thank you, Nelly. Section 22 of the Act states that any visual representation of information by a supplier to a consumer must be in plain language. Now, what that actually means is that the information must be represented in such a way that the ordinary person, the person with average literacy skills and average experience as a consumer, must understand that information. We then further look and take into account the context of the document, the vocabulary used, as well as the use of any illustrations in that representation.
Well, that sounds like a very broad definition, I must say. How does then one actually know that the information or the content is plain language?
Nelly, you're quite right. It is a very broad definition. And the best way is to break it up into two pieces. So the first part, we look at the audience. Obviously, the person to whom the information is supplied is the person who must understand that information. As in the definition, we look at the ordinary consumer. So it's not only lawyers, judges, and legal advisors who has to be able to understand that information. The normal person must understand it as well. We then also look at average literacy. So a person with average literacy skills, guy on the street, must also be able to understand that.
Okay. So Louwrens, simply put, you would say that anyone who reads a document must understand it. Is there more?
Absolutely. The next step then is to look at the document itself. So the context of the document will also indicate the use of the language in that document. As an example, if you are looking at a car hire contract, the person hiring a car will obviously know what a car is. So to explain what a car is not in plain language because it's superfluous and therefore not plain language. We then also look at the vocabulary used. Now, technical jargon in documents is usually a clear indication that the document is not in plain language.
I see. Well, I'll tell you a story. I know most of the contracts I read, there's always Latin legal terms. Does that mean that we're no longer required to have Latin or legal terms in contracts?
Nelly, the use of Latin and legal phrases, if you see that in a contract, you can 99% of the time say it's not plain language. It is, however, important to note that these terms have a very specific meaning. And when agreements are interpreted in a court, the judge will look at and look for these terms in order to be able to interpret the agreement. It is therefore advisable to keep these Latin terms and legal jargon, but also to put the layman's terms, the plain language meaning of those terms alongside those terms to have an explanation of what they mean so that the consumer will understand it as well.
Oh, that's very clear. Thank you, Louwrens. Just one question. You've mentioned illustration. Would you say that plain language can be illustrated, and if so, how?
I think illustrations are a very good way of communicating in plain language. I mean, a drawing is universal. I mean, it doesn't matter what language you're speaking. If you see a drawing, you will be able to understand it. So using illustrations to communicate usage directions or warnings with regard to products or goods, you're taking away the possibility of misinterpretation or mistranslation. So using illustrations, in my opinion, a very good way of communicating in plain language.
Well, thank you very much, Louwrens. I think we have at least been given an overview of what exactly it means to apply Section 22 of the Consumer Protection Act by making use of plain, simple language. Now, if you also need assistance with us maybe perusing through your documents, please contact SEESA, and Louwrens and the experts at the Consumer Protection and POPI Division will be glad to assist you with that. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Nelly.